Hello and welcome in this tutorial about Photoshop. So we did a first course when we just take a look at the overview of opening the software the first time. So now I assume you have opened it one time before, and we're just gonna have some look of what we can do in Photoshop. So first of all, let's focus on the layers. So I want you to understand how it works, because it's a very nice principle on the 2D industry. You're gonna have the same in Adobe and other software like After Effects. So layering is very important. So you have the same in Mudbox, Substance. So just take a look on this area, right? We're gonna just focus a bit here. So first we're gonna create a new layer and call it O1. Layer O1. On this layer, we're gonna just do some color brushes. Like this, like a red brush. So what I did is I use here the Kyle Bonish Chunky Charcoal. You can use whatever brush here with some look. So you can, work on this, okay? So this is one layer like this, and we're gonna add another layer on top of blue. So we have something blue and something red, okay? Now I want you to understand here, this is the fusion mode. So it's very helpful in 2D and in 3D. The fusion mode is basically algorithm to make different mixture of your layers. So here you can see the darken, you can see the color burn, you can see it's going inside the screen, the light. You see all those type of fusion here. So if you want something with more details, like let's see, I'm gonna go for something more with more stuff inside, like a bit here, and a bit of yellow, just a bunch of color. Okay, and I put on top some blue, for example, and some yellow. So now you can see the color fusion what it's doing, you see? So more you're gonna use them, and more you're gonna understand a bit the reaction on the layer on the bottom. But this is a cool way to mix colors, mix effects, and have fun on the creative process, okay? So you can check here, you see like the subtract is doing this contrast here, is pretty cool. We're gonna keep this, and here on the side we have the opacity of the layer. So if we go to 0, we don't see anymore the layer, but we can turn on like this, and same for the one before. We can, if you want, we want less of this. So opacity is a good way to just mandate and just like control the layer before, okay? So this is kind of basic. Last time I showed you here the stuff, we're gonna take a look about masking. So this here on the corner is the mask. So when you have a mask here, you see is white. So white masks means all inside the white part is revealed. If we paint on the right some black, so let's do something more simple so you understand. I do a layer of dark blue with this, so we have this yellow here, and we're gonna use a mask. So now we have a mask on the yellow. If we paint black, we can think, oh, we are erasing the geo, but no, this is on the mask. If you see here, you can see you can see the transparency of the stuff, and we can see here the black lines. If we remove here, we can disable the mask. We see we reveal again the stuff. So it's very helpful. It's very helpful when you want to mask something based on like painting or based on selection. Like we can select this area here, go here, cancel here, and we can paint on black. So we don't want this area to be any more visible. And we can do a bucket of white, for example. So we reveal everything, we hide everything. You see here the black. So it means based on the color here, you're gonna reveal smoothie, okay? If you do like a shade of gray, like 50%, you're gonna reveal only 50% of the geo, okay? So if you're here and you do 50% on B, here you see it's not totally removing because it's a 50% gray. If you go for a full white, it's putting everything in, and if you go for full black, it's removing everything. So this is the layer. Make sure you click on it when you walk. Here you click again on the geo. You can see the mask, how long I did it. You can reveal it like this. And you can disable, unlink, link, stuff like this. Okay, so very useful, the mask. Even if you, for example, select this, so I'm selecting all the brush here, I'm going in my preview stuff, and I have a selection from the something preview, something I did. I can from that, so I'm gonna just remove this mask. Delete mask. So I have a selection on my layer, and I click on this, and now what it's doing is directly creating a brush here based on what I did here. So based on the selection was like this. So if we invert, we have the opposite. You see, we invert the mask, so black and white, white and black. So now we have another effect here. So you see, this is a way to work with the mask here as well. So you do the selection before, like I'm in this layer, I do selection like this, and now I'm putting the mask, and I just take this area, okay? You can do like the density, so to see how big you want this. You see it's getting into gray. No density is like no mask, and the feather is like how it's smoothing on the surface. You see this, the way it's smoothing now. So here you can see it's a blurry potato. So it's a blurry potato mask fading from white to black with a fade. Okay, so that's for the mask. Very helpful, very helpful for your project. Okay, so let's have a look now to the FX here. So FX here is a bunch of effects you can use. So we have like bevel and emboss. So we're just gonna go into this one and just try them, just see what happens. Bevel and emboss here. You see now we can feel a bit of like beveling inside. You can see you can manage the side, the depth. You see it's trying to give some depth on our stuff. So it's one tool. We can soften, make it hard. So this is one of the effects. You can also do like the stroke effect, like this, and you fill it with like a purple. You can add an inner shadow, so it's gonna add inner shadow in the geo with a big side, small side. You see like all this kind of stuff. So basically this is the kind of stuff you can add on top. You can have like a drop shadow, so to fake like the shadow of the element. Here we want maybe this to be on this angle and like more far from the distance. You see, so it's trying to like fake the shadow of this, you see what I mean? So this can be very useful for like 2D art, extra illustration and stuff like this. So all the FX part here give you this bunch of tools. And here, like we see last time, is more like the classic stuff, like if we want to have curve, play on the level, play on the color balance, some photo filter as well. If you want, you can have like this kind of filter here with a high density. So all this kind of stuff are applied as a layer, and all the effects are applied here. And you can like remove the bevel, remove the stroke, remove the inner shadow, remove the drop shadow, and we kind of come back to where we have at the beginning, right? So that's the way to work with like layers, you know. You can always rename, put some colors as well. So you're here and you say, oh, I would like to have a color just to differentiate my stuff. So here, if you click here, you can put here red, orange, yellow. So it's just like a matter of recognize what is happening. So you know like all your levels can be in yellow, your levels can be in blue, and your photo filter can be in violet. And so you know like easily on you layering the name and the color can be like a good way to organize your work. Okay. As you see, we have on the middle the history, so we can go very back from where we go when I was showing you stuff, so that's pretty good. Always be aware of this. And yeah, so you can do as well some folders here and put the layers on the folder, and like the folder became a layer by itself. So you can do like treatment on this, you can put some mask on the group, and inside this is like a sub layer of the layer. Okay. So you can work on the group. It's more easy if you have like a bunch of layers inside your group and you want to do an overall treatment, like an overall gradient, overall mask, stuff like this, overall FX as well. So that's pretty good. That's very helpful. You can really like play with that on the future for the groups, okay? And same, you can put color on the groups and say, oh, I want this group to be green. And now you know this group of like 3 colors here is now a bunch of green. In terms of like visibility, okay? And this is to create a new layer. I think the shortcut is Ctrl Shift N. You can put a new layer, you can put a name, it's a new layer. You can enjoy this to perform your stuff, okay? And the trash here to delete. If you want to delete the layer, you can say don't show me again, and you're just gonna delete a bunch. Like this, you can delete the group, you can delete the content. You see, it's like it's always asking you, so that's pretty good. You can play with that. Okay. Oh shit, my nigga. So yeah, I lose the sound of the mic, so I'm gonna cut here, and we're gonna jump on the new lesson on the next video. Okay. See you there, and I hope you learn a lot on the layering, and I show you more about Photoshop in the next video. Thank you.